Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning, the 10th of June, 2020. The first day without our little doggy Tulip. Generally, every morning when I get up, the first thing she does is she comes to me and wants to go outside. The routine was I would give her her little treat for the morning, so I missed her this morning. I've entitled this video, Remember the Little Things. Remember the little things. You know, the little things are what make up the totality of our life, aren't they? You know, there's certain things that we enjoy in our lives that kind of make it worth all while, you know. What are your favorite foods? You know, I happen to like Raisin Bran. You know, remember the lilies of the field. They know that neither tend. But God in all His creation has shown us the detail of the little things. I remember how when Tulip was young, how she loved to go out and chase squirrels. She would be so happy when she was chasing squirrels. Full of life. Full of energy. Sometimes when I'm out on my walk, I'll see somebody and they just have all this energy. And if they're coming in the direction, I'll say to them, give me some of your energy, will you? Give me some of that energy. We should be thankful for all the things that God gives us. And we should always remember the little things. As I think back on my life, it's the little things that made it worth living, you know. And we also should remember that, and I often forget this, but when we're dealing with people, we should remember the little things too. I have been out in the public and I've seen someone in the public and they'll just give me a big smile. And I'll just think, well, now why did they smile at me like that? Made my day, you know. Then have you ever had someone out in public just scowl at you? You remember that too, don't you? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as an up person, cheerful person, as a giving person, or do you want to be remembered as a mean person? Sometimes I can be very mean. I'll be admitted. If I get upset about something, you know, I'll tell you one of the little things that really bugs me is when you're dealing with a company and their customer service people treat you like garbage. That really bugs me. Because I was raised that the customer's always right. And you know what? Anymore in our society, these companies out there have a lot of their customer service need to be taken to the woodshed. You don't treat customers like that. You don't talk down to customers. You don't treat customers like garbage. The little things. I think back over my life and I think of all the people I've met and the little things that have made the difference. You know, the little things that made the difference. I used to teach in a private school and the assistant principal, his name was Hurry Up Harry. And I'll always remember Harry. He was an interesting fellow. He had a dent on his car and he put a Band-Aid over it. You know, he's the one that at his funeral he had a bulletin board up with everything I had, his driver's license on it, his insurance card, his birth certificate, his insurance policy, his keys, his wallet, his social security card, and then the top of the big letters it says, Harry won't be needing these anymore. We put such an emphasis on money and materialism, and I was talking to a fellow yesterday and I kind of got tickled. He's 79 years old and he said, well, it looks like I'm going to have to build myself a shed. I said, well, why do you need a shed at your age? He said, well, my wife drives a Cadillac in the garage, and her Christmas stuff, she's afraid that all of her Christmas stuff's going to fall on her Cadillac. The worries people have. The little Cadillac's going to get scratched. So he's got to build a shed for her Christmas stuff. Sometimes we can become preoccupied with all of this materialism, and you know, it can be idolatry, can it? Sure it can. I had a sister-in-law one time, and she loved Christmas, and she had all this Christmas stuff. And all of a sudden, a tornado came over their house, lifted up the roof, and took all the Christmas stuff out of their attic. Now, you don't think that was God ordained? Took all of her Christmas stuff. We're talking this morning about the little things. The little things. When I was living up in northwest Missouri, I had a friend, he was a neighbor, his name was Bruce, and he had this little dog. He ended up giving this little dog to me. You know what the dog's name was? Come here. First time I asked him, you know, because it was a cute little dog, and I asked Bruce, I said, well, what's the dog's name? Come here. I said, what? He said, I just say come here. So we left that little dog. We left his name Come Here. It was the cutest little dog, you know. Just think about the names you've had over your dogs. I had a dog named Gramps one time. Most grumpy thing you ever. That dog was grumpy, man. That was Gramps. He must have had a hard early life, I guess. When I was young, when I was at home, we had a dog named Lammy. We had a dog named one time Peggy Sue, and a dog named Cammy. Rags. Had a dog named Rags. Heckenberg. I don't know how we came up with that name for a dog. One time we had a Heckenberg. He was a Brittany, I think. But the little things in life make a big difference. My son, he had a rabbit, and you know what he named it? Katie Vulcan Spock. Katie Vulcan Spock. Oh man, how people come up with names, you know. My sister, when she was young, real young, maybe about 4 years old, she couldn't say my name, Larry. You know what she called me? Wheel Wheel. She couldn't say it, so she'd say Wheel Wheel. Oh. Well, don't ever forget the little pleasures in life. Don't ever forget the little things that you've gotten a great deal of joy from. You know, when I was still at home probably about 12 years old, I used to enjoy. We had a big vine of black raspberries, and I enjoyed getting up early in the morning and going out and picking those black raspberries really early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, my job was also to water all the fruit trees. We had apple trees, peach trees. My job was to water the trees. You know, pick the green beans, pick the tomatoes, pick the corn, dig up the potatoes. Had lots of strawberries. Pick the strawberries. You know, my mom and dad were hard workers, I will say that. I remember one night, my dad was a plumber, he worked hard, and anyway, this was probably when I was like in 8th grade. We had a basketball goal up over the garage. I was out there shooting baskets, and he was probably tired. He comes into the home from work, and he gets out of his car and he says, "Is that all you have to do, is to play basketball?" Is that all you have to do? You know, we were taught to work. When I was young, I was a hard worker, you know. But I don't resent all those days, all the times I worked, you know. I can't work like I used to physically. I still work mentally. It seemed like last week I had an overload. Anyway, may the good Lord be with you this weekend. But the thing is, I'm going to just close with 1 Thessalonians 5:18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. May the good Lord be with you today is my prayer. God bless.